Hey, family. Um, I want to jump right into scripture real quick. We're going to be in First Chronicles 29, and it's going to be from verse 10 to verse 19. Okay. It says, So David blessed the Lord in the presence of all the assembly, and David said, Blessed are you, O Lord, the God of Israel, our Father forever and ever. Yours, O Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory and the victory and the majesty, for everything in the heavens and the earth is yours. Yours is the kingdom, O Lord, and you exalt yourself as head above all. Riches and honor flow from you, and you rule over all. In your hand are power and might, and in your hand it is to make great and to strengthen all. So now, our God, we give thanks to you and praise your glorious name. But who am I? And who are my people that we should be able to offer so freely as this? For everything comes from you, even from your own hand we have given to you. For we are strangers and sojourners before you, just as all of our fathers were. Our days on earth are like a shadow, and there is no hope. O Lord, our God, all this abundance that we have prepared to build you a house for your holy name has come from your hand, and all belongs to you. I know, my God, that you test the heart, and with uprightness you are pleased. So in the uprightness of my heart I have offered freely all these things. And now I have seen your people, those present here, offer freely and joyously to you. O Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, our fathers, keep this forever in the thoughts and intentions of the hearts of your people, and direct their heart to you. Grant to Solomon my son a whole heart to keep your commandments, your testimonies, and your statutes, and to do all these things, and to build the palace for which I have made preparation. We need to make some realizations today. One, foremost up front, we need to realize today that we create absolutely nothing. We need to come to the understanding that we are simply maintainers of what God gives us. We do not create anything original. None of our ideas, none of the physical items that we have, none of them are created from us or by us, but everything is created of God. See, even if you go back to Adam in the Garden of Eden, he did not create a single plant. He didn't create any of the trees. He didn't create streams or mountains. He didn't create foliage. He didn't create fruits and vegetables. He didn't create anything. God created and placed around him. And Adam then was called a caretaker or a maintainer of the Garden of Eden. That was his purpose. His purpose was to maintain and take care of the things that God had created and blessed him with. See, that's what we need to come to understanding of. If we do, we're going to be a little bit wiser by the time that this is over, because we need to understand that we just simply are not the creators. We are the created, and the created have a purpose for the maintaining and caretaking of what the Creator has created. Now, I hope that's as clear as mud, but I know that it's very, very murky. We need to understand that we need to be stewards and practice stewardship, because being a steward is being a maintainer, a responsible caretaker for what is given to you by God. We need to practice stewardship, which is being a steward, living out that lifestyle. We need to understand that just as Adam created absolutely nothing that he was blessed with, and yet he was blessed with, and he maintained and took care of, we also are not creators of anything. We do not create our own financial wealth. We do not create opportunities for ourselves. We do not create anything whatsoever. I mean, my wife and I, we just had a baby girl. We did not create her. We didn't. Technicality, through biology, we did. But we had absolutely no hand in her creation. See, biology would say that we created our daughter. The birth certificate says that we created our daughter. Everything about it says that it was us that was responsible for the creation of a new life that came into the world. But my wife and I, while somewhat intelligent people, we do not know what comprises making a soul. We just don't. Unfortunately, I cannot go into the kitchen and get out some pots and some pans and some salt and some garlic powder and make a human soul. That doesn't happen. Nobody is out there baking human souls for sale. So even though we supplemented some materials for the creation, we did not create Selah. We cannot make hearts. We cannot do the intricate workings or understandings of the brain. We do not operate and know how to manufacture a soul. These things are given by God. They are creation of the Lord. And so even though the government and biology would say that Courtney and I were completely the creators of Selah Cape, we understand that we had very little to do with her creation, and far more, almost nearly 100%, if not 100%, goes entirely to God. We did not create her because we create nothing. We are incapable of creation. Everything that I have, all the things that I can hold on to, and everything that is invisible but belongs to me, from children and money to talents and burdens to thoughts and creative ideas, are created outside of me. They are not my own invention. They are not created by me or in me. They are created outside of me and given to me. David sits here praying, who am I that I should be able to offer anything willingly? That from what God has, he would give to me. Because it all comes from God, and it's out of his own that he has given to us. And somehow out of what he has given to us, then I am able to willfully give some back. When our church recommences having physical operations, our baby is going to be dedicated. And most of you have seen this before. It's a simple process where the minister will pray over the child and just offer the child back to the Lord. It's not a big deal. It's not so much a situation like Abraham and Isaac where there's knives involved. It's more of a Hannah and Samuel situation where you pray for a child, the child is given, you give what God has given to you back. Because everything that God gives, and make no mistake, once again, everything you have is given from God. When God gives, we then give back. That's why we're going to have that baby dedication. But of course, you know me. We've already dedicated this baby. It was through tears in the hospital I dedicated that baby back. As soon as she was mine, she was back to the Lord's. All right. She didn't have that many cries in this world before she was given back. The reason why is because she is God-given. I know that God created her and I did not. I know that God gave her and that we had no ability to. I know that it was exclusively a God thing of how she came into existence. Has nothing to do with my wife or I. So therefore, as all things that God blesses us with, that he allows us to have out of his own, out of the things that he has created and supplied, he then gives to us. And out of that portion, I will give back to him, as we are supposed to, as stewards, as maintainers and caretakers, as responsible parties that are blessed and given an allowance of what God creates to be placed within our lives. See, God gives us and we give him back. In the scripture in 1 Chronicles that I read to you at the very beginning, David and others had given tons of provisions. And the provisions that they gave were for building the temple of the Lord. It was a huge project, a huge undertaking. They had brought in and started to raise funds, and they were getting all kinds of materials, all sorts of precious metals and precious stones and precious jewels and expensive fabrics and all of these things that were just insanely high dollar for that day and this one. They were getting just the absolute best of the best for materials. And David is sitting here praying, and he's not saying, God, look at how great we are. We have so much stuff that we're giving to you. Instead, he prays, God, I create nothing. You create everything. I have nothing except for what you have given me. And out of what you have given me, I'm giving you a little bit back because it is yours. It belongs to you. You are worthy of it. He's not saying, oh man, I'm so awesome and these people are so awesome and our fundraising was a success. He's saying, Lord, you gave everything to me and I will give back to you. As a matter of fact, he goes on through the scripture and he says very simply that everything comes from God. All power, all glory, all victory, all majesty, all of the heavens, all of the earth, all of the riches, all of the honor, all of the might, and all of the strength. And verse 16 even then clearly states that all of this abundance that we have provided for building you a house for your holy name comes from your hand and is all your own. He's not taking any of the credit whatsoever. Everything that we are providing for your house, O Lord, is yours. It came from your hand alone. It only came from you. All supplication, all materials, all wealth, everything came from you. What we have to come to the understanding of is that our money, our wealth, our home, our car, our spouse, our children, our job, our health, our ministries, our churches, our burdens, our passions, and our great ideas, and so much more are not created by us. They are not owned by us, and they do not belong to us. They are not ours. We have to come to a wise understanding today that it is all belonging to God. God creates wealth. God creates honor. God creates strength. God creates great ideas that he then flings into your brain. God creates burdens and passions. God creates your children. God aligns your spouses. God creates your homes. God creates absolutely everything. He is the maintainer and creator and supplier of all things. We have to come to the understanding that we simply are not. So what then is this stewardship? Why is it important? Stewardship is the coming to the realization that everything is God's and God's alone, and realizing then that it is my job to be responsible for what he gives to me. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be going a little bit deeper each lesson into the ideas and practices of stewardship. Because if nothing belongs to me and everything belongs to God, shouldn't I honor him by maintaining and caretaking for what he gives me as he desires? Shouldn't I honor him in the way that I honor the things and the people that he surrounds me with? Shouldn't I take care as he would want me to? Nothing belongs to you, and nothing belongs to me. We're even in this. All of it is God's. For the next couple weeks, let's find out what God says that we should do with it. Because I believe that somewhere between money and family and jobs and health and opportunities and ideas and all these other things and passionate pursuits, somewhere in there, some one of you is going to have a wiser and deeper understanding of what God has for your life. Family, I love you. I'm praying for you. Have a great day.